I'm just going to do some rambling in regards to veterinary school. Sometimes I get asked, was it worth it? Well, I guess you could say the pros and cons, but hopefully I can help some people make a decision whether they want to pursue veterinary medicine or not. Uh, do I think it's was worth the price I paid? No. But it did give me the opportunity to work outside, not be in a factory. Uh, Gives you an opportunity to be your own boss. But at the same time, being white and being male, I was not going to get any help. I had to pay for it myself. Well, otherwise, if you're a minority, you could probably get your education pretty cheaply. That's just the way it is in this country. But anyway, my thoughts are you really got to love animals or really want to have the passion to do it because the pay is not that good and you're always going to have emergency hours, especially if you don't own your own clinic. You know, your first few years out, you're not going to. You're going to work for somebody else. So emergency hours are terrible. The pay is bad. And what you got to remember too is, you know, you're going to get your starting salary, but you got to remember the government's going to come in and take a big chunk of your paycheck. And then, of course, inflation and all the other taxes you got to pay, you know. So is the juice worth the squeeze? I guess that's, you know, a decision you got to make. And here's another point, too, is the prerequisite courses that you take to qualify to apply to veterinary school are the very same ones that pharmacy, dentistry, medical, optometry, it's the same classes. So you can spend the same time and effort for veterinary school as it takes to be, you know, an eye doctor, a dentist, or a pharmacist. And let me tell you, those occupations pay a lot more, and you'll have no emergency hours. And I would guess, especially pharmacy and optometry, and probably in dentistry, it isn't going to be as difficult as veterinary school. And another thing you got to know too is, depending on your gender, the amount of ease to get in as far as being accepted is, well, let's just say this. You know, I went to school a few years ago, probably 20 years ago. Things haven't changed. And also, there was like 138 students in my class, 38 were men. So the majority are women. So if you're a man, you got to separate yourself from the crowd by getting a 4.0, more experience. That's another thing you got to deal with. So another thing you got to realize too is, you know, the university system is a state within a state. It's a whole world within a world, and you have professors that really do not have your interest at heart. Professors just want to get more letters in front of their name, more recognition, and also these, you know, veterinary schools, pharmacy, they want to get more students in as the most they can because they get federal and state money. So they're going to pack the classes in as many students as they possibly can and get that wheel turning and turn out as many of these doctors as they can because they get more money that way. So are you going to get the best education? No. I always wished veterinary medicine could have been the apprentice situation like it used to be in the old days, where if you learned a trade, you learn it for somebody else. You know, but in vet school, they make you, you know, you wad through 3 years of book work, and you finally get your hands on some animals the later stages of your third year, and then your clinics of your fourth year. And you really learn the most your first 2 years out in the field doing it. That's where you learn. So you got to go in with your eyes wide open. Also, you should recon the school. Like if you get accepted to a veterinary school, do some reconnaissance. And my thing would be is go to the bookstore, see what doctors at that school are publishing the books. Whose names are on the books at the bookstore. And there's another thing. Do not buy any books. You won't need any. The bookstore and university system is just another scam, another money-making opportunity for the university. You don't need any books when you go to veterinary school. But they do sell them, and you can notice what doctors there at that university are publishing these books. Those are the people that's going to run the show when you get in there. These are the people that everybody bows down to. They're going to be the dean. They're going to be the head of the surgery rotation, internal medicine. These guys are the ones that you got a brown nose or don't get on their bad side, or you're going to have a rough time. And another thing you got to realize too is that most of these universities, and especially these medical schools, are entrenched with militant gays and feminists. That's just a fact. Whether you believe in that ideology or whatever, it doesn't matter. That's who's there, and that's who's running the show. And like I said, all these professors, if you look at the vet school I went to, 20 years ago, there's not one of them that's still there. They always move on because they want more letters in front of their name. They want higher pay. They want more status. Do they actually give a shit about the students? I say no. So I guess the two main things is, first of all, do you really want to be a veterinarian? When, with the same amount of time, same amount of studies and prerequisite courses, you can be an optometrist, pharmacist, dentist, or even pre-med and make a heck of a lot more money with less time and effort, and what I'm trying to say is mainly the hours. The hours and time that you will spend doing that compared to a veterinarian is just, and what you get paid is just astronomical. So my whole thing is do your homework, and at the end of the day, I worked for a clinic for many years, and then I went on my own. And being on your own is the best. You can decide whether you want to do emergency calls or not, or whatever you want to do. I was a large animal, which I love being outside. I love going to farms, and it gave me an opportunity to do that, and I could be my own boss. But at the end of the day, it cost me a lot of money, and at that time, I think I was $140,000 in debt, and I started out back then as a new veterinarian at $45,000 a year before taxes. And that was a long road to climb, or hill to climb. So, yeah, I guess I would say if you want to do it, do not go in debt for it. Find some way. If you got to work 2 jobs or work job, save your money or work while you're in school, but do not go in debt for a veterinary degree. It's not worth it there. By the time I got my loan paid off, what money did I have saved? Very little. And then once I got through that, after about, the first 10 years, then you can start, saving some money, even though you're getting taxed to death. But those are my thoughts. The main thing is a recon where you're going. If you get accepted, know who's running the show. Ask questions with students that there or something, because if you go in there, I would just put your nose to the grindstone. Yes sir, no sir, to all these people in there, because they all have agendas. They all, I guess what I'm saying, they don't have your interests at heart. You're just another pawn. You're just another ticket where they get federal and state money for. So I would try, if you go to vet school, just keep your nose to the grindstone, keep your mouth shut. Also, I'd stay away from all the clubs and groups that don't mean nothing. Like the large animal club, the small animal club, SCAVMA. Any club they want you to join, do not join them. It's a waste of time. It does you no good when you get out. What I would do, again, do not go in debt for it. Do not join clubs. Keep your nose to the grindstone, and keep your mouth shut, and learn as much as you can. And, yes or no sir to these prima donna ideologues in these institutions, and you'll get out, and then you will learn the most your first 2 years out. Hopefully somebody hires you that has the heart of a teacher, that wants to show you the ins and outs of veterinary medicine, how, your surgery skills will go up, your diagnostic skills will go up. So hopefully, and I've had a lot of horror stories from friends that graduated, got hired by clinics, and these people are just as bad as ones in vet school. So hopefully you can go out and find a good place to start and learn. But I guess that's my opinion on vet school. And like I said, I even tried to. I'm glad I was a veterinarian, because, like I said, I love going to farms. I'm a country boy. I got to be outside. I got to be around farms. But I also applied to pharmacy and optometry school, because I thought, if I don't get into vet school, I don't want my prerequisites to go to waste. And I did get interviews from both of those, but they wanted more math. They wanted like another semester of calculus or advanced trigonometry or something like that. And so I did sign up for those classes, but at that same week, or like within 2 weeks, I got my acceptance letter to the vet school. So I guess that was my omen. And so anyway, I hope that helps young people. Otherwise, I would say, if you do not spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for that education. And here's another thing I'll tell you too, is especially if you're a man, the trade schools are the way to go. I know many electricians, linemen, power company, carpenters, plumbers, and they all make double or triple what I made as a veterinarian, with a 2-year degree, and the most experiences in the field. It's true. I did my master's, and then I went to vet school. My master's was a complete waste of time. Academia is a complete waste of time unless you want to go into a scientific field or a medical field. Then you're forced to go into these universities. But look, the clinic I went to had a power company right next door. What they did is they run the power for 3 or 4 counties, linemen, and they provided electricity for the whole community. And all these linemen, all these people work for the power company. I'm over there being a veterinarian. These guys over there are making double or triple what I'm making a year. And that's a sobering thought. Trade schools, you get less time, less bull crap, and you can make more money. But you're not going to be your own boss. So I guess decide what you want to do. Hope this helped. Anyway, that's my rambling thoughts.